Kiss with Wall of Sound, CVT guitar lesson for Kevin. Cool song. I gotta tell you, I grew up listening to Kiss before I played guitar. 5, 6 years old, 7 years old. More like 6, 7. But in the 70s, and Ace was the player that influenced me before I even played. I believe this is Tommy Thayer. Sounds like an Ace solo though, so it totally sounds like something he would do. Reminds me of a mix, Kevin, of Lonely as the Night for Billy Squier and 𝐂𝐿𝐴. Mainly off the, the part where he goes. That part, and then the 𝐂𝐿𝐴 part is the... I don't know, it might just be me. But anyways, tuning is a half step down, so this is an E flat. But it's still like, you can still hit your regular chord, it's just have this down a half step. Okay, flat tuning. So pick scrape, at the beginning, there's 2 guitars, and when we get into the 𝐂𝐿𝐴 part, Paul ascends and Tommy descends. I had to pick one, so I picked what I thought was the main one. So after you pick scrape on the E and A string, we're gonna go on the A string, 7/5, and I'd follow the fingering and the tabs, and then 7/5 E A. The rest of this is on the E string, the low E, 7/6/5 open 3 open. Okay, so you have, and then we're gonna strum an E major chord, 2A, 2D, 1G, and then open B and E. Then you go back, play that main hook again, up to that open E string. Then you're gonna go middle finger 3E, bend a whole step, and to open A 2D, just an A5 power chord, 2 times, and then 3rd fret pull off to open E. So kind of a Jimmy Page kind of thing, swanky, So that's the main hook, section 1, coming in at 2 seconds in. The 𝐂𝐿𝐴 part, section 2, 14 seconds in, 5B with an open high E. I've always liked riffs like this where you have, I call it drone note. In this case, it's going to be the open high E that stays consistent throughout. 5B, open E. We're going to hit those 2 strings. Make sure you hear 2 notes because they are the same note, an E and an E. But 8 times. Move that back a whole step flat. That means 2 frets. So if we're on 5, we go to 3. Do the same thing with that open high E. Next one, move it a half step flat. That means 1 fret from 3rd fret to 2nd. Keep that open E in there. And this is twice as long, so it's 16 times. So really you have... And Paul's doing, like I said, something different. Like they start the same. So anyways, you got what I consider the main one, the melody. From there, you'll see double dots at the end of section 2. That just means repeat everything within. That's where you come up with the 16 times. Some repeats at 19 seconds in of section 1 and 2. And then what I call the Billy Squier part, section 3, 36 seconds in, 2A, 4th fret D and G. Now you could bar that with the pinky, the 3rd, you can use 2 fingers, doesn't matter. 2 times on those 3 strings. And then this might be a little trickier. Open A, but keep the 4th fret on the D and G, and go down, up. And then a mute, just light pressure over those strings. And then, and that's on a downstroke, so. Open A, up. Back to the 4 D G, open 4/4 A D G. So it's a little tricky, I know, but and then back to the 2/4/4 A D G 3 times, and then open A, to open 4/4 ADG as an up strum. That'll be down up with both those. And then up again the rest, so you have. And then another up as it rings. So you have, here's the whole part. Let's do it again. And then up to 5A, 7th fret D, G, and B. 2 strums on those. Open A, barred 5th fret D and G. And you go down, up, here we go. So up, rest, up, ring. And then that whole part is double dotted from the D chord, 5, 7, 7. So bunch of repeats after that. The next new part, which I think is the last rhythm before we get to the solo, 1:20 in, section 4. I need to turn the page. I've got that memorized. Leading us into the solo. 3rd fret on the E string, 1st finger, pick, pull off to an open. And I just catch that index on the next string so I don't strum it. Right, so, and then pick the open, do that twice. 5th fret, pull off to open. So that gives you back to the 3rd fret, pull open, with 2 opens being picked. So that E major we used in section 1, same thing, 2, 2, 1, open, open. So then you start that over, but this time instead of ending with the E chord, we're ending with an A5, which is the open A, 2nd fret D. Then you go back to the first one. Then we take the end of section 1, the cool groove. It ends with open 3 open on the E string, rest, and then open 2 on the E and A string. That's the E5 power chord. So as much as possible, Kevin, for me, this is the first time hearing the song, by the way. I think it's got great parts. I can see why you wanted it as a CVT lesson. But if you, sometimes bands, and this song's a prime example, will take a section or a part of a section they already did and throw it in on the next section. So try to relate when it comes down to memorizing these riffs and parts to like, oh yeah, I did that earlier. It just might be having a different chord on the end. Find the things that are consistently the same, even if it's from another section. And that, like I said, several examples in here. All right, solo, 1:31 in. It's a really good solo. 2B, 1st finger, 4G, 3rd finger. I'm going to back that with my middle, and it's a unison bend. You're going to hit them both, but bend the G string a whole step. And once you get there, hold it and strum it again. Then 4G, bend, release. 2G, 4D, 2G, 4G, vibrato. So you have 4G bend, hold it, pick, release, pull off to 2 to 4D. So you have 2nd fret G, hammer onto the 4th fret, vibrato. So all of that is 1:36 in. We're going to go 4th fret G. You use your 3rd or your middle. You're going to pick that, slide to 6, and go 5B vibrato with the index. And then from there, 5th fret, hammer 7th, and then bar the 5th fret on the last 2 strings, or the 1st and 2nd, however you want to look at that. Back to the 5th fret B, so that's 7th fret, whole step bend. That's a 2 fret bend, right? You're taking this, bending it to that. So you have, oops. And then 5th fret E and B, follow the fingering. 8th fret B, bend. So you have 5th fret E, 8/5B, 7G, bend, release, pull off to 5. That's a mouthful, but it's really a real common technique. Bend, release, pull off, right? And then go 7/5, 7/5, and then 4 7s bending. So it's a minute 42. We're going to go 5th fret barred on strings 1 and 2, slide it a whole step up to 7, and then go 2 downs, then down, up, down. And then we can go to the top of page 4, 9th fret G and B, kind of a slash Jimmy Page kind of thing. This looks easy, but it's typically not. 9th fret, bar with the 3rd finger, back it with the middle and the index, and bar with those as well. You're going to need probably that strength to bend, release, pull off to double 7s. And then 9s and 7s on the GB. So we have 10B bend, probably pinky. And then pre-bend release the 9G. So you're going from the bend to a pre-bend release. That's tough, but there is a rest there. 7/9, 7/9, 7/9 bend vibrato. So we have minute 48, 9G middle finger slide to 11, 10B vibrato. 10, 12B, step and a half bend release, so that's a 3 fret bend release. And then go 10, 12, 10, 15, pull 12, vibrato. So let's start from the 10, 12. So hear how it's going from a B to a G. Okay, from there, there's a little bit more on the solo here. You'll go minute 52 in, 9th fret G, 1st finger, slide to 12, then go 14, 12, 14, bend. Whole step bend. 12E, 15, 12B. And then 15, 14G, bend, release, pull off to 12. So. And then 14G bend. And you can get away with down picking for most of this. 12th fret G and B, 14G, back to 12th fret G and B. 14G bend, 12B E. 15, 12B, 15G. Let's try that riff. Barred 14G and B, back it with 2 fingers. Bend, release, pull off to double 12s. And then 14 G and B, bend, release, bend, release. So you have. You can bend up. It's probably the best way, because if you go down, I'm worried you may bend it off the neck. 12 GB to 14 D. And then minute 58 in. Got some double dots going on here. 12th fret G and B. 12s, 14s, pulling off to 12s, and then 14D, do that 4 times. Right? Double, 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 single. 4 times. 2 minutes in, double dots again, 4 times of this, which is totally an ace riff, which really means it's a Jimmy Page riff. 14G bend, 3rd finger, we're going to go 12th fret B, E, down, up. 15B, pull off to 12, and do that 4 times. 15E bend, 15 bend release, 12th fret, 15B, 17B, bend, bend release, or bend vibrato. That's in parentheses there, Kevin, because it's the downbeat. So if you're going to play that one with the vibrato, you're going to have to cut out part of section 3, which comes in at timestamp 205. So, but anyways, this one, you know, bass used to do that in the solo. We would just move it up the neck. you know, just speed it up. Great rock and roll riff. That's it for solo stuff. 205, you'll go section 3, no star. In place of that, it's an E5 power chord, open E2A. 218, picks great, you know, it's like the beginning of the song, which is back to the top of page 5. 220 in. They'll go 4 times, 4th time, no star. And, which is just a pull off. But you'll hear him go. Just kind of slow it down on the end of that 3rd fret E bend to open A to D. It's our A5 power chord twice. So the last one is. And that's it, Kevin. And I'll get this taken. I told you to be up tomorrow. I'm going to try and get this up for you right now. And then we got a Whitesnake CVT to do for you as well. So thanks, dude. Appreciate you.